All right, guys. So good morning to you all. We are about to start right away. So please let's share the link. Let's share the link so that we can start. This morning is going to be question and answers, and that is going to be so interesting. So please let's share the link so that we can start right away. Okay. Hope you cannot hear me loud and clear. Okay, so let's share the link. Yeah, we will start in a jiffy. All right. So good morning to you all, crypto ambassadors across the globe. It's another wonderful day, and we are starting our meeting right away. So we are not wasting my time here. We are starting our meeting right away. So I guess you are all ready. This morning is going to be question and answers, and we are going to use that opportunity to learn and discuss a lot of things this morning. I guess throughout our lessons, mostly every Friday morning we meet to handle the Q&A session so that you can be able to ask questions that borders your thoughts, for us to be able to use this opportunity to help you get clarifications on what bothers your thoughts or challenges you. So this morning, get prepared. We are starting, and so hope you cannot hear me, right? Hope you cannot hear me. So let me do that. Okay, so Leader Chadwick, I've made you a co-host. I've made you a co-host. So in case there is anything, if the network jump me out, because this morning, if the network jumps me up out, alert me. Okay. So Ambassador Saul and then also Leader Chadwick. Um please, you guys should handle that aspect for me. All right, so guys, this morning that's what we are going to do, and so far so good. We are still pushing now. The market has changed direction. There is the market has changed direction, and the easiest way you can go is by sizing opportunity on the long market. Do you get it? The easiest opportunity you can go is by sizing opportunity on the what? On the long market. So this simply means that that is the reason why trading on the futures market is more advantageous. Looking at the market, you see this time round, most of our trades in floating loss is going to jump, is going to pump very well. At the same time too, you have the opportunity to long the market. Do you get it? You have the opportunity to long the market, especially whilst this market is going to go highly parabolic. You are going to make a lot of profits during this season. So guys, trading on the futures market has got more advantages to you, the trader. And this is the time you have to take your time, assess the opportunity. So this simply means either it is a bull run, either it's bull run or it's bear market. Ideally, every trader is going to benefit. Do you get it? Ideally, either it's a bull run or a bear run or bear market, every trader is going to do it to benefit without any complications or um stress. Do you get it? So that is the idea. And I guess you've seen the trend of the market. Notwithstanding, there are different strategies that from last week or from we've been able to express or we've taught, which will ensure that at the end of the day, you'll be able to identify good trends in the market. And whilst identifying those trends in the market, you'll be able to trade. Now, one thing that you should also know is that whilst the market is going to move or it's moving towards a parabolic line, you also need to know that even though all the markets can be bullish, but then some assets may not be bullish. This is one secret that you need to know. Even though the market may move in a bullish trend, but not all assets that may be bullish. So that is the reason why you need to get indicators or lessons that will help you to ensure that you'll be able to know and identify good trends in the market. Okay, so this morning it's going to be question and answers session, and I guess I have to give you the opportunity. So if you have any question about the futures trading or about the trading on the royal queue, this is the time for you to feel free to ask your questions so that you'll be able to assist you to get better clarifications for you to continue your trading journey. So guys, let's start. Okay, so I have Sanmik here. Let me unmute you for you to ask your question. Okay, so you've been asked to unmute. So if you also have any question, you can also write your question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand. So if you raise your hand, I'll unmute you to ask your question, or if you also type it in the chat box, I'll also read it and then also give you answers to that. All right. So Sam, let's listen to you.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. Please, my question is based on what we learned very early this morning at the dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our leader show another strategy. That's another indicators using the pivots. And I asked the question in the question chat, but I didn't get any response. So very good luck we have now. My question is if I use that indicator that you showed this morning about the pivot. Should I put the thing? Say we should put it on whole house, but should I put it on cycle at this end whole house or one shot on the whole house? I had this question, but I didn't get the answer for that. So I want to know that indicator that you showed this morning. Did it go with short or circle?
All right. Okay. So now you can use one shot at the same time. You can also use circle, but it is good to use one shot.
Okay,
All right.
okay. And
Now
my
one thing
next
is that
my
okay.
okay.
Proceed.
Uh,
Proceed.
I'm okay there. So my next question is that last time you taught us about how to stop a trade, and I tried one, but the take profits, the percentage went beyond, and then when I put it uh, on so that it can buy, the trade didn't buy. It continued pulling, going up. Then I need to wait out to reduce to very low percentage. Then I reduce the percentage. Then that time it sold. So I don't know the reason why it came up like that. I want to be careful on that so that I can stop a trade.
Okay. So I guess it's how to set up a trigger stop loss, right?
Yes.
If that is clear, how
Oh
to
no, no,
set a
not
trigger.
not about the stop loss. You can pick up a trade and then after a certain that is not a stop. It's a pause. Sorry, pause a trade. Sorry, it's a pause trade. Yeah, it's pause trade. And I want to after pausing the trade when the percentage reach my trigger percentage, I put it on. I unpause it, but still the robot wasn't able to sell it, and it overtook even the percentage go beyond more than that. It didn't sold. So I want to know the reason.
Okay. So I guess if you are not using any of the indicators like maybe RSI or MACD, and I'm sure that is on the spot markets because on the futures markets you
I did
cannot
that on spot. Yeah, I did it on spot. I did it on spot.
yes. So on the spot markets, when you put a trade, you have to first activate the trade before you can sell it. So if you've not activated the trade, you won't be able to sell it whilst the trade is still on pause. So the first thing that you have to do is to first activate the trade. Let me see, I guess I have some of the trade there. You have to first activate the trade, and after activating the trade, then you do what you um sell it out. So mostly the mistake that happens is that a lot of people, while the trade is on pause, you choose to sell it whilst it's still on what on pause. But the first thing that you have to do is to activate it, because once you pause the trade, it is no longer under activation mode. So first activate the trade. After you are done with activation, then you proceed to sell the trade. If not, you will still sell. You try selling it, and then yet it will still be in the market,
So
right?
that means I have to sell it manually myself, or the robots have to do
Yes.
it down for me.
No, you have to sell it manually.
Okay, that's why I put it on. I activate it, and I was waiting for the robot to do it, but nothing happened. Okay,
Yes. So next time, after anytime you pause a trade, it simply means you've left the trade to go under its own control. So the next thing you can do is to take absolute control over that and then sell it manually.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so there is another hand up. Okay, so we have crypto done. You've been asked to unmute. So those in the chat box, so I'll read all your chats. So you've been asked to unmute. Crypto Don, you can ask your question.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for presenting. I greet you all. My
Okay.
question was about to, but you passed by it. It is like this. I don't know how to place the stop loss in the trade. So I request you to show me how to place or put a stop loss in a trade.
Okay. All right. So let me
Thank
share
you,
my
sir.
screen. Let me share
Okay.
my screen. Let's do that together. Okay. So first, now we said when we talk of stop loss or a trigger stop loss, that a way to control. That is one of the ways to control total or to control liquidation. Okay, or total losses. Because before liquidation will happen, once liquidation happens, it simply means that your trade has been exhausted in the market, and that is where you find yourself fumbling. So in this case, if you decide to go for a stop loss, now it's two ways. Either you analyze the signals, and after analyzing the signals, you set up a stop loss in the signals, or you detect your stop loss or your trigger stop loss, or once the trade is ongoing in the market. So let me share my screen. Uh, let me see. Okay. Please, can you see my screen? Um, is my screen visible? Okay. All right. Now, so let's go to Royal Kill. So this is a trade, okay? So this particular Solana, if you want to set up a stop loss, you click on the trade. Now, when you click on the trade, you click on close. So anytime you click on close, you will see trigger. They said what? Please enter trigger. Um, please enter trigger price or trigger amount. Now, because this one I didn't analyze this based on stop loss conditions, look at the average price. Now, this particular trade is on long, okay? It is on what? On long. Because this trade is on long, it simply means when the market drops, it is going against me. Do you get it? So in this case, if I want to set a stop loss or a trigger stop loss, I'll first look at the average price. I'll look at the average price, then the current price. So looking at the current price simply means when the asset drops to 164, the present price of the asset is 164. So I can choose to decrease that value. So let's do that. So you come here. Now the current price is 164. So if I choose to make it 140, this simply means that when the asset drops to 140, I want the trade to close. Listen, this is not liquidation price. So I'll just have to click 140 here. Then after clicking on the 140, I'll click on this confirm. Once you do that, you are done. Do you get it? So this simply means that in this particular trade, when the trade gets to 140, I'm not going to lose all the money, because when liquidation happens, liquidation simply means that your trade is exhausted in the market, and that is where you can lose the total money that you used to set up the trade. So this simply means that I'm controlling losses, and then also I'm also um ensuring that at the end of the day, I will not lose much or excess money in my account. Wherefore, I'm going to lose only $23 out of the total money that I have. So you just come here, you enter the 140. So the 140 is the price of Solana. So when Solana gets to 140 USDT or US dollars, the trade is going to close automatic. So I'll just click on the 140. I'll enter it at the trigger price. Then I click on confirm. Hope it's clear. Hope it's clear. So, my brother, hope your question has been answered. Okay, so let me take another question from, that is the next person, Magic Adiola. So you've been asked to unmute. You can ask your question. So, Majek, you can ask your question.
Oh, good morning, sir. Good morning, coach.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, coach, my challenges is this. I have some floating loss of over $1,000, almost 1,700 of different coins since almost 6 months now. But now I want to buy them out. Should I wait for the altcoin? I want to bring it out. I need the USDT for trading. So now I have some money to do manual replenishment. Do you like $500? Do you advise I started doing the manual replenishment, or I input another settings that can make it to buy while the market is pumping? Or what is your advice? Or I should be doing the manual replenishment? Because when I try the manual replenishment, I see that the money cannot be enough to buy them out. Like, for example, we trade off minus 60%, 65%, or 70%. And I tried to do manual replacement with the whole 500 and it got to 23%. So, but I was skeptical. Should I do it, or should I wait that should I wait until the altcoin peak? Because now altcoin this morning is like 30% index. Should I wait for
Yeah.
it to 50% or 60%, or should I continue doing the manual replenishment because I need the capital for trading?
All right. So since you've been able to exercise patience from all that time till now, it seems now we are almost close to the Jordan River. Okay, where we are going to enter into Canaan. So don't miss out Canaan. So it is better that since you've been able to exercise patience from then till now, I think exercise patience enough and then let them rise to a certain minimum where you think now the losses is not excess for you to sell it. So in that case, if you want to sell them, it will be good for you because the losses is not going to be excess. So those ones that if there are many, those ones that you think they are highly meme coins that pumping is going to be difficult, you can choose to sell them. That is when it pumps small. You can choose to sell them so that you replenish that capital to trade on the futures markets, right?
Okay.
All right. So
So
I
I
think
should
that
wait for a while. I should wait for
yes,
a while. That's what you are saying now.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
Although the coins are stable coins. They are stable
Okay.
coins and they are still pumping. At least this morning one is
So
about 20%.
if they are stable coins, if the coins are stable coins, it's good for you to exercise patience for them to work because as for stable coins, one thing about stable coin is that no matter how they keep long in the market, you are always safe. Unlike maybe meme coins that may hint the may get a hint of being delisted. So since they are stable coins, you've exercised patience enough and then do that. Then let's hit your targets once and for all, right?
Okay, I should be patient. Thank you. I will.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that is fine. Sure. Okay, so the next person. Okay, so we have Justice Yenuman. So Justice, you can proceed to ask your question. You've been asked to unmute, so ask your question.
Thank you so much. Good morning. And
Good morning.
yeah, a downline from the US, but we are finding it difficult to bind her both to any of the exchanges. So I don't know which of them can is best for them at the US.
Okay, so for now I know those in UX using Binance is somehow difficult, but I have two downline that are using HCX and then also Mexi, HCX and then Mexi. So you can try Mexi to see. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
you can
Thank
try.
you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so um Ismail, Ismail, you can you've been asked on mute, so ask your question.
Yes, good morning, coach.
Good morning.
Okay, my question is I'm currently trading a coin on futures called Locker. This coin I had short it, but eventually it went against me. It pumped. Up and now it is trading like it's in negative percentage of like 400 plus, and shows that in case it liquidates me, I may lose like 100 plus dollars. But
Okay.
this coin on Binance is trading on cross, is in cross margin. But the amount of dollars I had on my futures account, it was around $45. And per now on my loyalty, it shows that the liquidation price was at around, it was 0.06 something. But per now, I see the current price of the coin is in 0.08. So it surpassed the liquidation price. So I was trying to discover, to see why am I not being liquidated. Yet now on my futures account, the money I had on my futures account, it shows 0, 0. It shows 0, 0, which means all the money has been exhausted, and it
Yeah.
shows negative 45. I mean negative 45. Then percentage of 90, like 99 point something there, close to 100. But still the coin is trading. It's not yet liquidated. So I wanted
Yes.
to understand why is that one happening.
Okay. That's fine. So you see, before you get liquidated, it's not necessarily because all that your money has been exhausted. But before one gets liquidated, it simply means the actual money you are using to trade has been exhausted in the market. Do you get it? So in this case, you realize that now check your margin ratio. So before you get liquidated, check your liquidation price and then your margin ratio. So your margin ratio, anytime your margin ratio gets to 100%, you'll be liquidated. So the liquidation price, the margin ratio, and then the maintenance margin, they are three things that works hand in hand. So if your margin ratio gets to 100%, that is when you get liquidated. So consider the liquidation price. If you check the liquidation price and it's slightly up, check the margin ratio. When you check the margin ratio and it's not up to 100%, then you know that you are secured in the market. And if you are using Binance, anytime you set up the trade, the margin ratio is just on top of the liquidation price. So you will see it in your exchange. So check it out. You will see it.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, so Kate, ask your question. You've been asked on mute.
Good morning, my leader.
Good morning.
Please, my question borders on a stop loss. If I'm setting up a trade, is it when I will put the stop loss? I have seen it when you demonstrated it, how to put it. But while I was trying to set up my own trade, I couldn't. I tap on close to locate that stop loss and put it immediately. I couldn't. It couldn't work because my
Come
trade has
again.
not activated.
You said you had what and it couldn't work. Come again.
Okay, I said while setting up a futures trade,
Okay.
I tried putting stop loss at the same time because I was using a ChatGPT direction
Okay.
of my trade. Okay. So I couldn't locate the stop loss because if I tap on close to be able to enter that section, because I'm using MACD, so the trade has not really triggered. So
Okay.
I will not be able to do it. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing.
Yes. So anytime you use MACD, anytime you use the indicators first give you a preset values because it's not going to give enter the market, right? So unless the trade is triggered, get to buy, that is when you can enter the trigger stop loss there. So until that particular trade triggered in the market to buy, you can your stop loss cannot be able to work.
Okay, thank you very much. Then my second
All
question
right, you're
is
welcome.
if you want to, is it possible to trade futures without any margin call? Is it possible? And if it's
Yes.
possible, what do we do to the margin call limits?
All right. So in that case, it's possible. you just leave the margin call limit. You just leave it. But then one thing is that when you are trading without a margin call, we all know that the idea of trading without a margin call is just like you are risking. You get it? You are taking a high risk. That is what it comes with. So if you trade without a margin call, you are just taking a high risk. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you very much. The issue is that there is something I'm trying to learn from it. Because that margin call, if you want to trade without margin call, it will not allow you. Do you understand? You must place margin call.
Yeah.
From what I can see from OYQ.
So you can't. The thing is that
Uh,
you can't trade without entering anything there. If you leave the margin call limit to be 0, it can't be able to work out for you. So just enter a value there. But that does not mean that it is working. Since you don't have money to control or to buy more, it's not going to work for you.
Okay, I'm not clear. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, so the next person, mute. Okay, so Shama, you've been asked to unmute. Ask your question.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, leader.
Good morning.
My question goes on this. When I set a coin in futures and I realize that the coin is going against me, if I stop it, am I able to get all the money that I put on it plus the margin calls that it has bought? That is my question.
All right. Okay, so now when you set up a trade and the market goes against you, if you decide to close the trade in loss, that part of the money that has gone into the market already, you wouldn't be able to get it back. But the remaining part, you'll get it back. So in this case, so let's use what I have here. Okay, so let's get back here. Now look at this particular trade. With this particular trade, I'm losing do you get it? So if I choose to close this trade, I'm not going to get this $4 back. I've lost $4 already. Since it is negative, I've lost it. So -4. I've lost that value already. And I'm not going to get it back. So the only money I'll get it back is the remaining amount out of my margin. So anytime you set up a trade and you decide to close it in loss, you are going to lose part of that money. Not all, you are not going to get all your money back. You need to take notice of that. Right? So if you set up a trade, don't be in haste to close the trade because the trade is going against you. Do you get it? If you set up a trade, don't be in haste to close the trade because the trade is going against you. Anytime you set up a trade, definitely the market will go against your direction before it comes in your favor. It's not always the case that the trade will have to rise once immediately you set up the trade, either it is on long or it is on short. If it's on short, it has to fall. No, it doesn't work like that. That is not the rule in trading. So if you set up a trade, exercise patience and get to know how the market is going. And I think okay, so this evening we will talk about that. So this evening we will talk about how to use some of the indicators to get to know the trend of the market. So we will do that. So please, from your question, if you set up a trade, exercise patience. That is what I can tell you. Notwithstanding, if you set up a trade and you decide to close it in loss, that money that has been in loss in the market, you are not going to retrieve it back. Thank you. Okay. So, um, Lydia, you've been asked to unmute, so you can ask your question. Lydia. So I have more questions in the chat box. I'll read them. So I'll read them. Okay. So Lydia, ask your question.
Good morning, leader.
Good morning. Please, your voice is down.
Okay, let me unmute. I think let me remove the headphones. Yeah, clear. Am I clear?
All right, you're loud and clear now.
Okay, I was asking. I have a downline who is in Qatar, and then she was doing okay. She had a Binance account like since 2015, but by
Okay.
the time she was having that Binance account, she was in Kenya before she moved to Qatar. Now she moved to Qatar like 2 years ago, and then I told her of trading with Royal Q last month. So she
Yeah.
decided to she decided to start the business. So she told me since she had an account of Binance, there was no need of again downloading another one. What I simply told her, just click on it in your Play Store, then update it. So she
Yeah.
updated it. She had her money in her Kenyan line, so we had to transfer the into dollars. Then we downloaded RoyoQ. She began the business. So at first we were doing, I did API binding for her to trade in spot markets. Then later on, I decided to undo the API binding so that we can bind futures. So as I was busy trying to establish a futures wallet in her Binance, then we were unable to, because they kept telling us, please verify. When we try to verify, they bring up a lot of stuff about her bank cards, whatever. There were a lot of things that they were telling us that we should provide for her, for that account, for us to establish a futures account. So she wasn't able to bring all those things on board. So we finally, what happened eventually yesterday, Binance was sending her a message saying she should withdraw. She should withdraw all her money from her Binance, and and because it's not going to work, like it will not work for her. So my question is Binance working in Qatar, or there's something that we're not doing right?
Okay. So I
Mm.
think most of those countries they have challenges when it comes to using Binance, and there are a lot of
Mhm.
futures. It will be very difficult for you to get it in those countries like Qatar, and then there are some countries like that in the in those areas. So that's it seems like I guess you can't use Binance there. You get it, or you can't use
Yes.
futures in those areas. So that is the reason why. And one thing is that anytime you relocate to another country, mostly
Mm-hmm.
your IP address it changes. So once your
Mm-hmm.
IP address changes, though you have registered the account in your local country before you left to that particular area. Once the
Mm-hmm.
IP address is detected, you have to go through the very process that country is going through to get access to that account. If they don't have access to that account, it simply means you can't also use that account.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? So you are
Yes.
not doing anything wrong. It's not your fault, and it's from that country. So I guess that is it. So
So what
it's
should I
either
do?
such a
Uh-huh.
person, mostly I is it
Sorry?
uh I've forgotten the name. So mostly such people, the only thing they can do is to use VPN. But then unless that area they verify that they can use VPN or not. Do you get it?
So she
So
should, when she's opening, she should always use VPN.
please mute your call, okay? So
Oh, come.
if that person wants to get a you should try VPN to see. You should try VPN to see if the VPN will be able to work. Then that is fine. If it's not able to work, you should try other exchanges because sometimes it's not all the exchanges. But so the person you should either try VPN to see if it will work. If VPN does not work, you should use other exchange. Okay. All right. Okay. So the next person, Apostle Desmond. Apostle Desmond, you've been asked to unmute. So please ask your question.
All right. Good morning, leader,
Good morning.
and good morning to us all.
All right.
All right. Okay. So I have this question with when it comes to liquidation.
Okay.
I think I want more light to be thrown on because I learned when you set your futures account using the Royal Q, you are being given the liquidated price. So my question here is, when your settings or when your first buying amount or when your entry, the point of entry, the price at which you bought the coin, when it gets a liquidated price, is that when you are going to be liquidated? And sometimes, how long does it take?
Okay. So you're asking how long does it take for you to be liquidated, and then also
Yes,
um
please.
okay. Now, when we talk of liquidation price, see if I can use the okay. When we talk of liquidation price, the liquidation price is the price at which your trade will be triggered for loss. Okay.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't take time duration. It depends
Okay.
on how fast the asset moves or drops. Do you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Either
Okay.
how fast it rises or drops against you. Do you get it? So
Okay.
in this
Yes.
case, when that particular price of the assets, that is the price at which you bought the asset, drops to that price, which is called the liquidation price, that is
Uh-huh.
when the trade is called to be, it's said that the trade is liquidated. Do you get it?
Okay.
So in
Okay.
this case, the liquidation price does not have a time frame or a time duration within which your trade will be liquidated, but it
All right.
depends on how fast the asset drops or rise against your position.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then my next question is, when you are being liquidated, do you lose only the money that is in the trade, or including the balance you have in your futures account?
All right, so that one depends on the strategy, the margin you use. That is either you use cross margin or isolated margin. So
Okay.
with isolated margin, if you use isolated margin, when you are liquidated, you lose only the money you've exposed to the market.
Okay.
And then with the cross margin, when you are being liquidated, you liquidate with everything that is in your account, in your futures
Wow.
account.
Okay. So I think that is why Leader Julius always advises we use isolated.
Yes.
Uh-huh. But when I'm also setting my futures account in the Binance, sometimes when I'm changing from cross to isolated, what I've been told is you cannot change to isolated using multi-asset mode when you're on
Okay.
multi-asset mode.
So with that, first let's go into the Binance account. Let me see.
Okay.
So you have to let's go to Binance. Like, where's my Binance? Okay. So first go into your Binance accounts and then you click on wow. Uh, let me see. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Let's proceed. Okay. Click on Binance. So on Binance, so click on futures. Okay. When you
Okay.
click on futures on top here, on these three dots, okay. So click on it. Once you click on these three dots, click on preferences. When you click on preferences, so come here and then click on asset mode. Do you get it? Asset mode. So click on the asset mode and then change it from the multi-asset mode to the single asset mode before you can be able to change your trade from the cross to isolated anytime you want to change it. Right? So just come here and then change the trade from multi-asset mode. Oh, sorry. From multi-asset mode to single asset mode, right? So that is what you have to do. So go in your exchange and do that. Hope that is clear. All right. Okay, so let me see. Cesar Max. Okay, so Cesar, you can proceed to ask your question. Then I'll go into the chat box to answer the questions in the chat box too. So Max, you've been asked to unmute. Let me see. You've been asked to unmute, so you can ask your question. So whilst you're asking your question, so okay, let me see. Please, can you help us with a strategy for $50 capital? Okay, Cesar, we are listening to you.
So what I was trying to say, good morning, everyone.
Your
What
voice
I
is
was
very
trying to
down.
say,
Your voice is very down.
what I'm trying to say
Pardon?
is, pass me to.
Come again. I guess okay. So let's proceed to answer the questions in the chat box. So Let me start from the top. So okay, I'm starting from the top. Okay, so good morning. So I would like to repeat the strategy settings. I would like you to repeat the strategy settings. Okay, so when when can I start hedging the market in case the market goes against me? When can I start hedging the market in case the market goes against me? So now when it comes to hedging, first you have to check the trend of the market. Okay, you have to first check the trend of the market. And how do you check the trend of the market? You can use any of the indicators like MACD or moving averages. So moving average is a trend line indicator or a trend. It gives the trend or direction of the market. So if you set up a trade and then the market is going against you, sometimes it's not a severe reversal. So just check to know the direction or the trend of the market. When you get to know the trend of the market and it is going to go, either you are on short and it's going bullish, that is when you can decide to hedge your trade. Okay, so if you want to hedge the trade, first check the direction or the trend of the market. If there has been a change of character, then you can decide to do or to hedge the trade. Hope that is clear. So Esther, all right. So good morning, instructor. My question is that what might be the likely issues or problems when you trade on particular coin and after 3 hours the coin stopped trading and it didn't buy, that is sports markets. Okay, so what might be the likely issue or problems when you trade on a particular coin after 3 hours and the coin stopped trading and it didn't buy? So it's either you are using indicator, either RSI. If you are not using RSI, what could be a particular after 3 hours that the coin couldn't buy again? So if it couldn't buy, it simply means that it has bought all your margin calls. After that, within that spread of 3 hours, that is when it will stop buying again, right? So if you have any trade in the market that it happens, it is no longer buying, it simply means that it exhausted all your margin calls. So when a trade exhausts your margin calls, it wouldn't buy again. Okay, good. So kindly share an example of setting of futures markets with margin calls, how to distribute your money on the margin calls, capital of 50 USDT and 5 margin. Okay, so now we want to set up a trade with a capital of $50, a capital of what? Of $50 with 5 margin calls. Okay, so first go into your Royal Q account. So let's go to Royal Q. So go into your Royal Q account. On Royal Q, click on the preferred assets. So you click on it, then you click on create. Okay, you come here and then you click on trade settings. So this is for sports. Okay, this is for sports. So in this case, I can decide to use 20% of my capital as my first buying amount. So please, it's better you identify for me to know either sports or futures. Okay, either sports or futures. So I can decide to use 20% of my capital as first buying amount. So that is $50. So 20% of $50. Let's use a calculator to do that. So you click on $50 times 20%. That is going to be $10, right? So it simply means my first buy amount is going to be $10. Now, with a margin call of $5 or five. So then I change my take profit to 1% or 2% or anyhow. So my callback is going to be 0.1, 0.1. Now it simply means I have $40. Okay. It simply means I have $40 remaining. And with this $40, I'm going to use the $40 as my to buy from the drop, right? Okay, and you know this, you can also apply this in your futures, but if you have been able to indicate either spot or futures, I will know how to handle this question, right? So please kindly clarify. Can you clarify before I proceed with that? Okay, sorry, I guess it's futures. Okay, setting of futures market. Okay, sorry. Then let's proceed. So with this capital, that is the $10 that I'm going to use as my first buy amount. If it's futures market, it simply means, let's go back. Okay, so since it's on futures, let me click on it. So create, okay, create, I understand, whether long or short, manually create. So I'm going to use $10 as my first buy amount. Now $10. So it simply means the $10 is going to be my margin, right? So over here, now it's 200 and the minimum entry is what is 236. So that is 236 is what is $5. Simply means 236 times 2 will give me $10. So that is going to be 10. But then in this exchange, my margin is going to be 10, and then also my leverage, if I'm using 10x, so come to the leverage first. So if I'm using 10x, it simply means that it's going to be 10 times 10, which is 100, right? It's going to be 10 times 10, which is 100. So over here on futures, I'll come here, that is 5 divided by 213. 5 divided by 236, sorry. So get your calculator. 236, 236 divided by 5, that is going to give you 47.2. So times your total leverage, that is 10. So let's do that together. So 10 times 47.2, that is going to be 470. Let's see if that is going to work. No, it's supposed to be 100, sorry. Well, from the 100, that is the 10, which is your leverage, okay? The 10 is your leverage times the capital, which is 10. So 10 times 10 is going to be 100. So 100 times 47, that is going to be 4,700. So let's go in there to enter that to see what we are going to get. So 4,700 ACH 4700. Okay, that is going to give you 99.89, 99.8, so which is approximately, so 10x is what we are going to use. Then our margin call limit is what? Is 5. Our margin call limit is what? Is 5. So this simply means that our first buy amount is going to be 100, since we are using $10. Okay, so if you decide to use $10 as your first buy amount, it simply means your margin is recommended to be 10, whereas the first buy amount in your exchange, because of the leverage, should be 100. Hope that is clear. So the person who asked the question, I guess you are following. Okay, so I guess that is very simple. Now, my question is, good morning, leader. Please, while setting up your futures trade, where exactly do we locate stop loss in? Okay, I guess I've answered that question. Let me see if there is any hand up. Lydia, okay. Lydia, you've been asked to unmute. Ask your question. If you have any question, you've been asked to unmute, so ask your question. So, Mr. Emmanuel, can I DM you? Okay, please.
Okay,
All
Sir
right.
Emmanuel.
Hello.
Sir Emmanuel, you didn't answer me well. As in satisfactorily, I didn't know what to do. What should I do next if the VPN does not work? Because what I know is I had, even when we were trying to communicate and there was internet breakdown, I told her to download VPN app, and
Okay.
it was on and we were using it. And at one point, this thing came up and it stopped working. Like the account was telling her that you can no longer use this and that. Now my question is, I wanted to inquire from you. Can she like withdraw her funds back into a normal line and then uninstall that Binance account, because it's the one that she had installed in Kenya, and then download another one. Is it possible?
Then download another Binance account. No, since she's already, yeah, so in Qatar VPN works very well. Okay, so I think someone has been able to access there. So please, you should try VPN. Okay, if not, you should use different exchange. If
Okay,
not,
like HTS.
use different exchange. Yes. So you should either try the VPN. If the VPN doesn't work, you should try different exchange. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, so yeah, so in Qatar VPN works very well. Someone has answered that. Then kindly Lydia, kindly chat Binance customer support. They will give you the final answers. It's their exchange. Okay. So say I'm having a problem on how to set up a spot trade with capital of $100. With capital of $100. Okay, so first try customer service. So with a capital of $100, if you want to set up a trade on a spot market. Now there are different strategies that you like to go for. Personally, I normally love using this. So you decide on how much money you want to expose to the markets as your first buying amount, right? So now I'll continue with this. Where is it? So with the $100 capital, decide on the amount of money you want to expose to the market as your first buying amount, and then also decide on, when it comes to trading, it's more of decision making, right? Then the amount of margin call limits or margin calls you can do, what you can open. So at least 10 margin calls will be okay for $100 capital. Then open up margin calls on that particular trade. Okay, so now with this particular trade, now you have now you have $40 remaining. So you're going to use $40 as margin call limit. Now with to buy the margin calls. Now you have this $5 that you are going to use as your margin call limit. So in this case, you come here for that is 40. Okay. So at every drop, let's look at it. 40 divided by 5. That is going to give you 8. That is going to give you 8. So it simply means that in your exchange, anytime the asset drops, it's going to buy $8, which is times your leverage. Okay, so that is going to be 80, right? $80 because 10 times 8 is going to give you 80. So in your exchange, anytime it's add up, it's going to buy $8 in addition, which simply means because you are using leverage of 10x, it's going to add up to what? To be 80, right? So you go to the margin configuration, you click on margin configuration. Now you are setting 5 margin call limit. So over here, you come here, you choose to change from 0.5, from the first to the last call, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and then 0.5, right? Now, so the remaining is going to okay, so we are going to work on the buying ratio. So mind you, over here, it's going to be a calculation based on your $80 because every drop is going to buy $8. Every drop is going to buy $8. So looking at your first buying amount, which is $10, which is $100, right? So $100 was our first buying amount. That was our first buying amount. So we choose to multiply that by, for us to get the value here, then here. So if we are going to buy 2 of our first buying amount, here to 2 of our first buying amount, 2, and then also the last part is going to, okay, so 0.5, then 0.5. Now after you are done with that, you click on confirm, then you save it. So after saving it, okay, so where is the, that is 0.1. So you change it to one shot, then you click on save. Now that is all. So please, that is how you can use your $50 to set up a strategy to trade. Okay. Now let me proceed. So when you reach liquidation price, you have enough capital. Can you still be liquidated? Now, if you have enough capital in your account, it depends. If you are using cross margin, it will continue the trade. But if you are using isolated margin, when you hit your liquidation without looking back, do you get it? When you are using isolated, it will be liquidated without looking back. So that is it. So if you are using cross margin, when you are getting liquidated, it will still buy, and then also when you are using isolated, it will get liquidated once your liquidation price is triggered. Okay, so please, can you give me a strategy on 400 sets for $400 capital? Okay, so we look at that. So please, one of my friends tried to change from multi-asset mode to single asset mode, but it wasn't working. What should we do? What should we do? Okay, so before you can change it from multi-asset mode to single asset mode, sometimes let's go back into the exchange again. Sometimes let's so over here in the exchange, hope you can see my screen, right? Hope you can see my screen. Now you click on these three dots. After clicking on the three dots, click on it, click on preferences. So let's click on preferences. So you see, sometimes you first have to do what you first have to come to asset mode. And if you set this strategy to multi-asset mode, so let me try changing it. You have to first turn on all these things. Do you get it? You have to first turn on all this asset that has been turned off before you'll be able to switch it on to multi-asset mode, which simply means if you turn it on and you are also changing it to single asset mode, you also have to turn them all these assets off before you'll be able to confirm and then also get the single asset mode. So please take notice of that. So when it is on multi-asset mode, you need to ensure that you've turned off all these things. You need to turn them on to cross before you be able to proceed to set it to isolated or single asset mode. That is it. So please, the person should try that first. Okay. Now, okay, so kindly help me set a strategy of $50 in futures. I guess that's what we just did. So how you use when you use 5 leverage, does it mean you just have to multiply your first buy amount by 5? Yes. So anytime you use a leverage of 5, it simply means if you are using $10 as your first buying amount, multiply the $5 by 10. Sorry, yes, by 10 for you to get 50. It simply means your exchange, you are going to use $50 as your first buy in amount. Okay, it simply means in your exchange, you're going to use first $50 as your first buy in amount. So please, can you change the market direction? Let me see. Can you change the market direction to the direction is moving immediately when you realize that you are going liquidation? No. No. Once you set up a trade, listen, in futures, once you set up a trade, you can't change the direction unless you close the trade. Okay, unless you close the trade. So if you have any ongoing trade that you want to change the direction, it can't work. So the easiest way for you to solve that is by by closing the trade. Okay, is by closing the trade. All right. Okay, so please, after dividing the call drop by the number of margin calls, do you enter the coin at the current price? No, you don't enter the coin at the current price. So after dividing the call drop by the number of margin calls, do you enter the coin at the current price? Yeah, so if you are trading with the current, I don't get your question clear. But then I know if you are trading with the current price signals, then you go straight away to set up your trade by using the current price signal. But then I'm not getting your question clearly. Yes, so is the strategy for long trading. So yes, both long and then short. Both long and then short. So any strategy that you are using to open margin calls, it can be applied on both long position and then also short position. Okay, so let me see. When you use 5x leverage, okay, I've answered that. Please, can you change the markets? Okay. So is the strategy for long? Okay, I've answered that to coach. $400 capital. Okay. So please, one of my friends, I guess I've answered that. Let me see. There is anything that I've not answered here. Say I'm on sports problem. Okay. I think I've answered that too. So please, after dividing the call drop, okay, I've answered that. Alright, so guys, so someone is asking Mr. Emmanuel, can I DM you and how? Mostly I don't allow that. I don't allow that. So I'm on the platform. If you have any challenge, you can ask your challenge on the platform. If it's about trading, and I think I handle challenges with regards to trading alone. I don't handle personal life issues, please. So I handle problems with regards to trading. So if you have any challenge with your trading, you can ask on the platform. And once I see your question, I will answer them. I guess I mostly help on answering most of the questions. So please do that. Let me see. Is it possible to buy margin calls manually on futures? Is it possible to buy margin calls manually on futures? Yes, of course. If you have capital to do so, you can do so. You come to Royal Kill. So this particular trade. Let's go back. So if you want to add up, buy more margin calls, or you want to buy manually, so let's go back. So click on this particular trade. We have this Solana here. Click on close. I said close. Click on buy. So this is buy, okay? So where is the watermark? Okay. Now this is buy. Just click on it. After clicking on buy, let's see that. So when you click on buy, they said please enter trigger price. That is, if you want to buy the assets manually, you just come here to enter the quantity of Solana you want to buy. So if you want to buy one Solana in addition, you click on one Solana. Then you click on the trigger. That is, if you want to use market price, you click on markets. Then you click on the quantity of Solana you want to do what you want to buy in addition. Then you click on confirm. Right? That is very simple. So you come to the exchange to do that. All right, so let me see if there is any other question. Let me go down. Please, I asked what is the difference between single assets and then also multi-asset mode. Single asset mode and then multi-asset mode. Okay, now when we talk of single asset mode helps you to trade assets both on the cross and then also isolated. Okay, but has got limited conditions. But then when you trade on multi-asset mode runs trade fixed for cross. It's fixed. You can't change it from cross to isolated. So anytime you set up multi-asset mode, it automatically permits you to trade on the cross margin without any hesitation, and you can't change it. Now, whenever you are using multi-asset mode, with multi-asset mode, you are capable of trading multiple assets. When I say multiple assets, you can use SRP to trade BTC. You can use BTC to trade Solana. You can use multiple pairs. And with multi-asset mode 2, just like the cross, your capital is shared among different assets. Okay, your capital is shared among different assets. Now, also with the multi-asset mode, it does not only futures that you can use more. If you have let's say $100 and you want to trade on futures, we have, when it comes to the futures trading, let me see, we have the coin M, that is coin M, and then also futures CMS. Let's go there. I think let's go into the exchange. You'll see that. So let's go to Binance. Now on Binance, over here, look at, very good. So let's scroll down. Let me go back and see. Okay. Now on Binance, you can see we have USD SM. and then also we have coin M, and then also we have options. We have options. So when you set your trade to multi-asset mode, you can use one capital to trade on all these different side of the market, either USD, SM, or coin M. Okay, either USDM, coin M, or options. So you can open different trades using that same capital in your futures, and they are all subject of the futures market. They are all subject of the futures market. So that is the difference. Okay, so let me see. Can we trade one coin in different direction in futures if the place direction is going opposite? Yes, so that is what we call it hedging. That is what we call it hedging. So you choose to hedge if you open the trade, and then also it happens that the market is going long. But if your trade is on long direction and the market is going on short, you can decide to hedge the trade. So that is what we call you are trading on the opposite direction, right? Yes. So I'm sorry, sir, but I am having a problem in calculating the right leverage for my trades. What should I consider most for capital of $100? So with a capital of $100, if we're high risk taker, 10x will be okay. Notwithstanding, if you're not a high risk taker, go for 5x. Go for 5x. 5x will be okay for you. Okay, so let me see. Is there any hand up again? There is no hand up. So let me answer the questions in the chat box if there is any question to ask. So, okay. If I use 5x, what happens when the trade goes against me? Like, will the 5x be taken from my wallet? Now, either you use 10x, you use 1x, you use 2x. When the trade gets liquidated, the money that you are using to trade or you use to open the margin will definitely go. Now, when we say someone is using 5x, what it simply means is that the person is lending 5 times of his capital to trade. That is what it means. It simply means the person is borrowing 5x or 5 times of his capital to trade. That is what we mean by 5x. If you go for 10x, it simply means you are lending or borrowing 10 times of your capital. So if you have $50 and you go for 10x, it simply means you are borrowing 10 times 50, that is 10 of your capital to trade, which is 10 times what? 50. That is going to give you 500. Is it? Yes, 500. So it simply means you are borrowing $500 to trade. That is 10 times of your capital. So 10 times 50 is what? Is 500. That is what it means to say someone is using a leverage of 5x. Hope that is clear. So if I got liquidated, is it only the first buy that will be liquidated, or it is plus all the margin calls amounts? So for you to get liquidated, if it has bought margin calls, together everything goes. And that also depends on either you are using cross or isolated. That also depends on either you are using cross or isolated. If you are using cross margin, then it will go with everything. If you are using isolated margin, it will only go with the margin that it has bought in addition. Now, mind you, anytime margin cost is bought, okay, it's add up to your margin or your original money you are using to trade. Which simply means one thing about liquidation is before we say someone has gotten liquidated, it simply means the actual money you are using to trade. And since your margin calls also form part of the money you are using to trade, if it has bought margin calls, everything goes. Right? So please, with all the security system on Binance, can someone still hack my account without even contacting me? No one can hack your account without contact unless otherwise. That's kind of what we call attack. Is an external attack, or sorry, internal attack. That is you clicking on any link, that is cyber link, that will ensure that the person will invade into your account. If not, most of the attacks to do that, right? So you have to also be very careful of how you click on different links. You have to be very careful of how you click on different links. And clicking on links can sometimes be harmful to your device, and it will be a cyber attack against you, right? Okay, so that is it. So let me see. If you use 5x, what happens when the trade goes against me? Like, will 5x be taken from my wallet? Now, using 5x simply means you are using 5 times your capital, which is if you are using $50 to trade, like I gave example, it simply means you are using $500. So when the trade gets liquidated, your $50 will go out of your account. So when you get liquidated, either you're using 10x on $50, 20x on $50, the money you are using to trade is what is going to get out of your account. That is mainly if you are using isolated. Okay, so um will 5x be taken from my wallet? Thanks for answer. Whilst it's borrowing without security. Yes. Okay, so please, you went off. Come again. You went off. Oh, really? Please, am I loud and clear? Can you hear me? Someone is saying I went off. Am I loud and clear on the line? Am I loud and clear on the line? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So please, I guess you have to check your network. So yes, I'm loud and clear. Okay, so I'm sorry, sir, but I am having a problem in calculating a right leverage. I guess I've answered that question just now. Okay, so let's proceed. Coach, please, on the $50 strategy you just did, why did you use the 2 times of the multiple as your first buying amount? Okay, so now if you look at it, 2 times my first buying amount, which is 100. So let's look at that. 2 times 100, that is what the fixed value do. So 100, that is going to be, I think the amount was 10. So we are using $10. So 10 times 2, that is going to be, sorry, 10 times 2, right? Times 2, that is going to be 20. So this simply means it's going to be 20. So you have to check the calculation. I think that wasn't a fixed amount to be used. So you just have to do the calculation right so that you can be able to enter the right value there by dividing your first buy amount. So if you want to use check the value first. So if you are using 0.5, it simply means 0.5 times 100. Okay, times 100, that is going to give us 50. So you have to first check the calculation right. And I think when it comes to trade settings, we have a special class for trade settings. So maybe if God permits, this evening I'll handle the futures class and I'll talk about trade settings in futures. Okay, so you can also join the Monday sessions to learn more on trade settings by leader Chris. Okay, so if I transfer 100 USDT in my futures account, if I transfer 100 USDT in my futures account and my first buy amount is 10 USDT, if I get liquidated, is all my 100 going? No, listen, unless you are using cross. If you are using cross margin, if you will be liquidated, it simply means all the $100 will go. But if you are using isolated margin, the $10, sorry, only the $10 will do what will go. Only the $10 will do what will go if we are using isolated margin. Okay, so guys, I guess you spend a lot of time here. Please do, we need it on trade settings. Yes, so in the evening, I'll be here live to work on that and then to expand more knowledge on the futures markets how to use some indicators to make good profits, and I guess it's really working. So guys, I guess there is no hand up. Okay, so Fina, all right, Fina, ask your question. Fina, ask your question.
Good morning, leader.
Good morning.
Okay, my question is actually explanation I need. So I set a trade in future and I was doing something and the trade rise. I put 1%. So the trade rose to 48%, giving like $28. And then immediately I
Okay.
clicked it, it sold. But I was only giving $8. So I don't understand why. Is it because I
Yes.
didn't do anything I didn't do right?
All right. You didn't do anything wrong. Now, one thing about the market is that the market is highly volatile, and it could be that immediately you were about to close the trade, the price dropped against your trade. Do you get it? So,
Okay.
price could take just seconds to change.
Okay.
Price could just change seconds to do or to change. So you could have $1,000 in your account, and within seconds it will change from $1,000 to $0.5. That is one thing about the futures trading. So you set up a trade, you realize that you are in huge profit. You are about to close it, and it happens mostly. It happens not only you, but it happens to all of us or most of us.
Okay.
So by the time you realize, the actual profits you saw wouldn't be there because there has been a change in price because the market is volatile. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
not your fault. Yeah, it's normal.
Thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate.
okay. Okay, so let me see. Let me take some few questions. Then I bring this session to an end. I am trading on futures SRP USD. It's a long position, isolated mode with $20 capital and $5 my first buy amount. My leverage is 2x. Please kindly assist me on what my quantity amount will be. Kindly assist me on what my quantity amount will be. Okay, so you have $20. They said SRP USDT long position isolated. So if you are already trading, I guess the quantity is going to be based on the price of the assets. The quantity is going to be based on the current price of the asset. Notwithstanding, if you have $5 as your first buy amount, the $5 you need to identify. So your I'm trading with future SRP isolated with $20 capital, $5 as my first buy amount. So if $5 is your first buy amount, it simply means in the exchange 2x is going to be 10. Okay, 2x is going to be 10. So 2 times 5 is going to be 10. It simply means 10. So you multiply that by the current price of the assets. Okay, by the current price of the assets. So for you to get the quantity of the assets you are going to trade, the exchange, or sorry, the assets, if you see, let's go to in fact, let's go there. Okay, hope you can see my screen. All right, so this is it. SRP. Let's get SRP here, mama. SRP, where are you? So let's search for it. Okay, so let's search for SRP. XRP. So you click on it. Wow, Ali, the market is booming. It's booming. It is cooking. So now you have SRP here, and you are good to go. So all what you have to do is to ensure that now let's click on trade settings. So our first buy amount, the minimum entry that we can provide or we can enter the amount on the line. What is happening? Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me see. Okay, okay. All right. All right. Let's proceed then. So since you want to use um I think I have to clean this. Now let's go back. I don't know why they are giving me 50. Let's assume I'm on short, so let me click on it. Okay, so over here you see the first buying amount. I don't know if this is so. They said the minimum amount I can enter is 20 SRP, which is 51 USDT, which simply means I can't go below this. So check from your end to know the minimum you can enter. Now, if you get to know that, now you come here, since you are going to use, sometimes they give you minimum quantity of what, 2 SRP, the minimum quantity of 2 or 5 SRP. So you know that now 1 SRP is equivalent to is it $2.5, $2.5, or is it 3 or 2? Based on the price that we checked. So if you want to know that, just first get to know the current price of the assets and multiply the total amount you want. If it is $10, 10 times the current price will give you the quantity that you want to buy. Hope that is clear, and I guess that will help you. Okay, so let me see if there is any other question. Can you coach, where can we go to and do the change settings, isolated and cross margin? Can you show, please? Okay, so I guess I've done that not long ago. So first you go into your exchange, you click on futures. So click on futures. Now on futures you can see this, you can see it here. Click here, you can see isolated. Okay, you can see isolated. So just come here and then also click on it. If you want to change it to cross, you change it to cross. If you want to change it to isolated, you change it to isolated. Something simple. Hope that will help you. Hope this will help you. Okay, so yes, so that is very simple, and you can go into your exchange to do that. So you have to do that before you set up the trade. Okay, one signal is given. Either you've changed, you can change most of the assets there, so that anytime you want to change it to cross, you change it back. So you first change it to isolated. You can change most of your assets to isolated, so that anytime you prefer changing it back to cross, you can change it back to cross. My screen is not showing. My screen is not showing. Please, can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, give me one in the chat. If you can see my screen, give me one in the chat. Yes, so my brother, my screen is visible. My screen is visible. Okay. So I guess, are you the one who asked of the changing cross to isolated? I don't know. Yes. So let me go over again for you since you couldn't see my screen. So now get back. Okay. So let me see. You said you mean the exchange. So where can I get comprehensive video that teaches how to set trade on spot and futures, because I'm a novice? And so if you're on a Signal platform, if you're in Crypto Ambassadors platform, we will drop, we've been dropping it there. So we will drop it there, we'll share it after the meeting. I'll share it, I'll reshare it so that you get it. So you using more than a screen, I can't see your current screen, please. Oh, who is that? It's only showing previous Royal queue only. Oh, really? Only Royal queue screen. Let me unshare it and then reshare it again. Okay, so I've stopped sharing my screen. Let me reshare my screen again. Is it visible now? Is my screen visible now? Is my screen visible now? Can you see it clearly? Okay. Okay, so what I was saying is that now come into the exchange. If you want to change from cross isolated, this is it. So just come here. So let me use the watermark. So you see isolated on top here, right? Good. So click on the isolated. After clicking on the isolated, you can change it to cross. Or if it's on cross, click on cross, then change it to isolated. Something simple. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? Hope you get it. Okay. All right. So let me see. Um. Okay. So yeah. So we'll share it on the platform for those. Please, what of using the Bybit? Yeah. So Bybit, on Bybit too, you can change it from is it usually, is it multi-asset mode to single asset mode, and that will be all. That is when you can use it. Is it better to use cross if using one trade per time? Yes, it's okay to use cross if you are using one trade per time. It is okay for you to use cross. So I guess that is all for today. That is all for today. So let me see. That is all for today. Yes, if God permits, this evening I'll get time for us to meet again. If God permit, this evening I'll get time for us to meet again. So let's end here. Let's end here, and we will meet in the evening if God permits. So guys, um, let's call it a day. Let me see. Please, how can I locate a coin to trade on in the market that will not take more than 24 hours? So to be sold, yes. So join the technical analysis meeting. Join the technical analysis class and learn on how to um, select a coin. And when you know how to select a coin, you'll be able to trade on your own to decide on getting a coin which will not take more than 24 hours. Okay, now you should know that the market, we don't control the market. So when you get signals, you may trade on the signals. The signal may be predicted to win in a short period of time. But because we don't control the market, anything is capable of happening. So it is better for you to learn on your own and then make decisions on your own. So try to join the meetings, the technical analysis class, so that you can be able to learn more. Please, how do I sell part of my assets manually on futures? Yeah, my brother. How do you set now I don't have ongoing trading in this particular futures account. So unless the other account, that one, so it's on my PC. So you just click on the plus sign. You have to click on the plus sign. After clicking on the plus sign, you can either add or remove. So on the remove, that is where you will get it. And that one can only be done when you are using isolated, not cross. It can only be done when you are using isolated, not cross. Okay. You can only sell part of or your trade manually. And remember, when you do that, it's going to give you abnormal sell in Royal Kill. So take notice of that. Okay, so personally, I know Bitcoin has to hit 115. After 115, it has to get a pullback and then also take it to 120 first. But the rest, I leave it to time. The rest, I leave it to time. So now it seems it has already triggered to 117. Okay, it has already triggered to 117. So for the meantime, I know that Bitcoin is capable of getting to 130k. I know Bitcoin is capable of getting to 130. Is it? Yes, I know it's capable of getting to 130k. But then once, for now it's around 117 based on what I saw, and it will get a slight pullback. Then after that, let's see. So um let's check the current price now. That is 117, 18k. Wow, 118k. And since it's 118, it's likely possible you experience a little pullback here. Then it jumped to 120. Jumps to 120. So let's see how it goes. But 130k is 150k is short. It's a short. Okay. Yes. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All right. So guys, what's so okay? I guess that's all. So is this Zoom recorded? Is this Zoom recorded? So yes, so go to YouTube, you get it there. Go to YouTube, you get it there. So guys, I think this is where we are going to end. If God permits, this evening we will still meet again to learn more about the futures trading for us to make more profit. Now the market is bullish. Let's go to make money. I'll provide signals on the platform. So those in the signal group, go there and wait for signals. Leader Chris or Coach Chris too is also providing signals there, and we are there to provide good signals for you to make good profits. So go there and make more money. All right. So once you are making money, don't forget that you also. Oh, who is this? I have a question. All right, I'm listening. So whilst you're making money, please Don't forget that you have to engage your prospects, educate your prospects, and then bring them in the business. Now everything is working smoothly. So the money that we are making to invite our prospects to join the business. Do you get it? Some of you, because the features is working. Some of you, yes. So if you need signals, go to the signal platform. That's where you will drop the signals. So some of you, because the features is working for you now, you forgot about your prospects. You don't even mind them again. Either they are humans or not, you don't mind them. Go there, go and use your results. Let them see your results so that they can also join you. No matter how little your result may be, it is pushing. Now, this is not like the spot market where maybe your result may not be consistent, or you may have challenges in getting consistent results. Now you have consistent results, so use your result to invite them to join your business. All right, so guys, let's end here. I'm going out today, and today is Friday, so I have to go out, make more money, get in more prospects in my business. So I have raised up my hand, and my question to allow me to speak permissible. Oh, really? Okay, so you've been action. Please, you'll be the last person that I will take because I'm ending this session.
Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning.
I'm doing good, sir. Now, I have a downline. This downline of mine is set up a features account, but whenever he tries to enter the market, and then it goes to change the leverage. Loyal Q always tells him that change leverage has failed, and is not in position to enter any coin. I don't know what could be the problem.
Yes. So it's because the API set up for the futures account is not successful, and you need to redo it again. You need to redo it again. Yeah. So that is all. Okay. So guys, let's call it a day. So which channel is YouTube? Can I get the recording? So crypto ambassadors. Okay, crypto ambassadors. So go there. Would anyone ask me in crypto settings on? I can trade with Signal. Yes, so please go there. You drop on the Signal platform. We will drop everything there. So how to set up a trade, how to use the strategies and everything. Everything's on the platform. We will drop it again. We will reshare it and reshare it again. So follow and then also get the right information to start your trading journey. All right, so guys, let's end here. If God permits, this evening we will still meet again. Let's end here. If God permits, this evening we will still meet again. So that is all for today. I wish you all the best in your trading journey and have a wonderful, good day. Love you all. All right, so bye bye bye.